Hey, what's up you guys? You're watching Team APS. Paul and Alec here today, and in this video we're going to give you guys some tips for buying cards online.
Specifically, 5 tips.
Yes, this is for people who are new to it, you know. Anybody could probably use these though, but this is to save you money, make sure that you don't have a bad experience, things like that. Let's hop in.
So, number 1, research your cards, research your decks.
Yeah, make sure that this is stuff you want, like the things you're buying. Right?
I can't tell you how many times I bought cards for a deck, and then I'm just like, these 4 cards, I'm not really gonna use them.
Yeah, he has a bad habit, actually, I'd say, of just grabbing stuff, just buying willy-nilly.
Throw it in the cart.
Yeah, and that's something that you definitely want to watch out for, right?
Avoid it. It is expensive.
Because you'll end up with like a bunch of stuff, and as we'll kind of end up getting into later, you don't want to, you know, overbuy things, and you end up like losing track of what you've bought and not needing what you've bought and just things like that. So make sure it's like specific, you know, deck things.
I'm pretty sure over the years, I've actually probably just cards haven't come in, and I just didn't notice because of just how many cards I was buying.
Shop around. Go to different
places.
sites.
Yeah, you know, it's not bad to always go to TCG Player.
Right.
But
yeah, you know, even among TCG Player, like there's loads of different sellers, and so you don't want to necessarily just go for the same seller just because, like in card games, it's kind of just whatever's cheapest and provides the best service at the time.
But if you're buying a lot, like if you're trying to buy a whole deck, there's more to it than just being cheap. You're gonna want those cards to come in at relatively the same amount of time.
Yeah, so I think that the idea of kind of like shopping around, like make sure that you find the best deal. Just because it costs $17 on, you know, Troll and Toad doesn't mean that you can't find it cheaper somewhere else. And that's really important because I think that a lot of sites, I don't want to say like they prey on brand loyalty, but you know, if you only buy from TCG Player, you only buy from Troll and Toad, you only buy from Core, and then maybe their prices are higher, then you're kind of missing out. And so, not
to mention all these websites tend to be fall victim to price hype.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, just one video or one top and a card price spikes. But, you know, the more popular websites, oh yeah, they'll adjust their prices real fast to match that hype. But there are some other websites that might not be so quick on the uptake, and you might get a really good deal on this new hot tech.
Correct. And, you know, that's something that I've actually kind of had experience with, is just sort of picking up a card that got hyped up, and then you find it on some websites like, oh, it's still like $3 here. Cool. Very good.
My example was when Spell Canceller had the price spike when Pendulums came out, and I think, was it Necros?
Yeah, it was around that time. Yeah.
I remember I was mad because I used to have Spell Canceller and I lost them, so I went to buy some new ones, and its price had tripled, quadrupled, something.
Yeah, I remember it got pricey. 20, 30, 40 bucks or something.
I went to some no-name website that had Spell Canceller at its abysmal old price, and I was like, yes. Check your seller ratings.
For sure.
These websites, they always have, like, you know, if you go to eBay, you can find multiple sellers. If you go to Amazon, multiple sellers. TCG Player, multiple sellers. But not all sellers are created equal.
For sure.
Some ship fast, some ship slow. Some have better packaging, so you get your cards come in better condition. Some don't care so much about condition. And
there's really like kind of 2 different ways that you can check. Like obviously there's the seller ratings that are provided on the sites. So like you've got, you know, Amazon, you've got eBay, you've got like TCG Player where, you know, you can see how many sales they've done, right? Like you don't want to buy from a person who's done like 3 sales, whereas if there's someone who's done like 10,000 sales, I would buy a card for a few dollars more if it meant, you know, coming from a trusted place, right?
Yeah, but what if his seller rating is like a 30%?
Yeah, then that's another thing you can pay attention to, is you don't want to like be buying from someone who's got like a low seller rating. And this goes for all those sites too. On eBay, for example, most people don't really even buy if the seller rating is less than 95%. You know, give or take. But even past just the sort of the numbers, ask around, like ask on Reddit or, you know, places like that, who's bought from this seller, what was their experience like, how fast was shipping, like he said, what kind of packaging did they use? Because I've gotten some stuff in some pretty questionable packages where the cards, maybe they weren't like damaged, but I mean they could have been.
I mean, I've gotten cards that were just the card in an envelope.
Yeah,
no top loader, no
sleeve.
sleeve.
Oh, those are
just
the worst.
Card and envelope.
That's really
Anything could have happened to that card in transit.
Yeah, make sure that you really do your research on the sellers themselves, because you don't want to get damaged stuff. You don't want stuff to not show up or to be deceived.
Hell, I've had the opposite though. I've had a seller who double sleeved the card, put it in a top loader, put the top loader in the top loader, see up the top loaders.
I love the sellers who tape the top loader.
Like, oh my god.
So good.
And then he put it in a box. He could have put it in an envelope. No, he put it in a box.
Yeah, I have had some people who they really tightly package everything, and those are the best ones, as opposed to the really cheap ones. So
double check your rarities and the condition of the cards.
Oh yeah, that's actually something that I think I don't even do all the time, honestly. I need to probably start doing more.
I should look at it more, but I don't.
Yeah, because remember the way that sort of card conditions are displayed? There's mint, which means it's
perfect.
Basically perfect. Then there's near mint, which tends to be, about as good. But what you want to really kind of start being careful for is lightly played and moderately played and
then played.
Yeah, played.
Or the switch, damaged.
Yeah, then there's damage. And generally speaking, people aren't going to be selling stuff that's damaged, or if it is, they'll make it known. But don't take things for granted.
Yeah, if you're not paying attention, you might think you're going to this really good deal, and yeah, it's cheap for that card, but you also didn't look at the details where it said damaged.
Yeah, it's there's probably a reason that Dragonic Diagram's $20 or $10 or something. It's oh yeah, this is in damaged condition, literally bent and just.
To some people, a damaged car is the come up.
Yeah, and now also another thing, like you said, is check the rarities. It's easy to get, not deceived, but just kind of make the mistake of getting a card in a different rarity than you expected to get it in. Maybe because the price said something. I think a big example here is with the Mega 10s. In the Mega 10s that they've been doing, the cards are always printed in the same rarity that they were printed in the original set. So, something was secret in Breakers of Shadow, it's also secret in the Mega 10. But sometimes there's going to be a price disparity there. Yep. So maybe Mega 10 Solemn Strikes are worth 25, but original Secret Solemn Strikes are worth 35 or 40. And you might be oh wow, Secret Solemn Strike, it's only 25 bucks. But you maybe wanted the Breakers of Shadow ones. If you're that type of person, then you're gonna wanna make sure that you double check and make sure you're getting the right edition of something, the right rarity of something.
Check your tracking.
Yeah, check your tracking, keep track yourself. Like we said at the beginning of the video, if you order a lot of stuff,
you can lose track of it.
It's really easy to forget that you ordered things. And then weeks pass and it never showed up and you just forgot that you'd ordered it.
Yeah, you picked up 20 cards, you forgot there was 21. And also know who is shipping your cards. There's a difference between USPS, UPS, and FedEx.
Oh, we know all about that, don't we?
We do.
Yeah.
Some of them ship on weekends. Some don't ship on weekends.
Some ship on certain holidays.
Sometimes they'll need a signature, which means you have to be there to pick it up.
Sometimes they won't deliver it at all, and they'll take it back to the post office, and you'll have to get it the next day, and then you won't, and then your videos will get delayed, and then you can't open things.
Oh my God, Paul.
Oh, whoops, sorry. Yeah, make sure that you keep track of tracking numbers are really important. So that way, if you don't get something, you've got proof that, it was meant to be delivered or that it never got delivered.
See, I don't mind paying extra if I get that tracking confirmation where I know where the card is, they know where the card is. That means if I don't get it, they also know I didn't get it.
And it's such a big deal with cards too, because they're so easy to get lost in the mail, and that you never really want that if you're ordering expensive cards. And then what do you do when you don't get the cards that you want? What if your cards don't arrive? What should you do? Because it happens.
Harass them. Light them up. I mean, you don't have to be disrespectful about it. But if I paid a lot of money for a card, woo, I'm going to hit that keyboard. I'll make phone calls. I'm going to get a phone number.
Be the angry 40-year-old white woman, mother who asks for the manager.
Oh. Or if you're black, when they bring the wrong food to your auntie, whoo.
Yeah, for real, you gotta make sure that you let people know if you're not getting stuff. Don't just settle for oh, it didn't come in then.
That's it.
Not gonna do. Yeah, let them know, and if they don't, give either some kind of refund or at least some sort of response, then make it known on the internet.
Now, different websites have different policies on that. My personal favorite is Amazon to order from because Amazon protects the buyer. If you claim your stuff didn't come in, Amazon's gonna make sure you get your money back.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, you know, make sure that you're buying somewhere that has some sort of buyer protection. And if all else fails, at least let people know not to buy from this site.
That's true.
Because, you know, you can post Reddit things, you can post in Facebook groups, make YouTube videos on it. You know, make sure that people know that they don't have to have the same experience.
Destroy their reputation.
Yeah, Yelp reviews, those.
I know Alex ordered a Utopia Lightning. They never did get it.
No, that's been months now.
Yeah, it never showed up.
Don't let that happen to you.
Don't be Alex.
Yeah, don't be Alex. Yeah, so those are our 5 tips for buying and selling cards. Hopefully these were really valuable. I think that whether you're like, you know, new to it or even kind of a seasoned buyer, this stuff should still really be helpful. And I guess I should take this opportunity to say that one of the best places to buy cards online is TCG Player, our wonderful sponsor. Check them out, links in the description. They provide a lot of the stuff that we open, a lot of the cards for our deck profiles, and they've got other cool Yu-Gi-Oh! And other card game related things.
So we're talking about buying cards. You know, buying cards first starts off with money. And if you want to know how to save money or properly manage your money in your Yu-Gi-Oh! Career, check out our video on Yu-Gi-Oh! And money management. I forgot the exact title, but the link will be in the description.
Well, the link in the description, I'll link somewhere, it'll be great. Anyway, that's it. We've gone on long enough. This is part of the summer of Yu-Gi-Oh! So if you haven't already, check out yesterday's video, and we'll see you again tomorrow.